Someone asked me yesterday, after doing an inner journey, he says to me, well, how does one channel? And that's not an easy question to answer, because it's not like I set out to learn how to channel. I set out to connect with spirit. That's what was super important to me. I can't even explain to you the why that was super important to me. But in my 20s, and my personal journey, my therapy, what I read, the channel material that I read, my art was all about surrendering, getting out of the way and opening myself to Source. I wanted to be a clear and pure conduit for God. I can't tell you why I wanted that, except that it was super important to me. This was after quite a rocky childhood, a rocky adolescence, leaving home when I was 16 and going to live with a coke dealer, so doing a lot of drugs for close to 2 years, mostly every day, and and then leaving what was an abusive relationship by the time I was turning 19 and a half, 20, I think I was turning 20. And by the time I was 20, I went to see a psychic, actually. And I, again, can't tell you why, I just was driven. I went through the newspaper, and I'm like, the ads, and I'm like, oh, her. I don't know if I want to see a psychic, I don't know. I'm like, okay, if it's meant to be, the person will be able to see me today. Yeah. Then I know that this is. And I kept getting a sense of my mother's presence. My mother died when I was quite young. Some of you have read my book, so you know about that. And sure enough, the person answered. There was no voicemail. She answered. She says, "Yes, I can see you today." And she made an appointment along enough time for me to cycle over to her place. I sat there and I was just, anticipating. And she described my childhood. She knew me, but deeper than my personality. And at one point, she says, "And I think you're feeling some pressure on your left shoulder." And sure enough, I just felt like I had something weighing me down. And she says, "That's your mother. And your mother wants you to know," and that was a homecoming for me. That I remember being a little girl. I had a statue of Mary with the little lights. I have to find one of those. I don't know what happened to that, but it had little lights. And I remember sitting there and saying my Hail Mary and my, I don't know these prayers anymore, but I would sit there and I would say to God, "Oh, please tell Mom I love her." And then one day I was looking at the statue of Mary and I'm like, I'm going to tell her myself. And I started, in a way, connecting with spirit very young, but not really knowing, not really understanding that's what I was doing. And until this psychic recognized that in me. Recognized that she says, "You too have a psychic gift." But I remember being intrigued and not really all that interested. But it was opening myself and being a pure vessel for God. That somehow was super important in taking care of my body, doing everything that I need to do psychologically, emotionally, physically to embody divinity.
Wow. Nice, easy job.
Nice, easy job. Oh. Not. Oh, who knows? I didn't know what I was getting into, or when I started writing this book. Oh, but this man, when he asked me, "Well, how does one channel?" and I sat there, and I'm like, Being that this came to me, it's not something I sought, and I said, it's with a profound curiosity, an acute and profound curiosity. It's being so curious that you're open, you're receiving. It's being so, so curious that you're not imposing interpretation too soon. Just imagine you're in the middle of a conversation and somebody shares something with you, and notice your body. There's tension. There's holding. There always is, and it's not just your own, but it's associated with the other person is sharing. And the initial response is to say something to maybe fix or make better. It's instinctual. We immediately want to project onto what's being said. Channeling is about being receptive to what's being said. It's about joining in empathic resonance. It's about feeling what's being said, feeling it. And I've had people say to me, "Oh, don't take on what I'm saying," or don't, I'm sorry for whatever it is that they're experiencing. Don't take it on as if I'm a victim to it. I don't know if you've experienced that at times. Being highly sensitive people, we tend to feel a lot. And what I say in response is, "Oh, please, let me feel this with you. Let me share what you're experiencing. Let me hold you in empathic resonance." And when I'm sharing that space with you in empathic resonance, I'm an open channel to whatever you're experiencing. And I'm feeling you. And the key is, when you feel somebody, you don't have to do anything about it. When I channel Massing D, I don't have to do anything about what they communicate. I don't have to do anything about how it's responding with you. But I could feel it and experience it with you. And that's the richness of embodying divinity. However we all do it. It may be, for some of you may be channelers, some of you may be artists, some of you may be highly intuitive. There's all kinds of ways. I say to people, even accountants channel. Just channel numbers. Really good accountants are very in tune with the energy of those numbers. They're very open. They join the numbers in empathic resonance. So when I was asked, what's the theme for tonight, I sat down and was like, well, I don't know. That was a few weeks ago. I don't know. We'll see when the night comes. But it's always a good idea to set an intention, Otherwise, what's the purpose of you joining me? Is, I'm going to go hear her channel about something. I don't know. So I tuned in, and I just got that question that people ask, how does one channel? And for some, that's not the way they ask the question. They'll say, how do I connect to my soul essence? For some people, they'll ask that question differently. They'll ask about relationship. How do I open myself to meeting someone? How do I deepen my intimacy in my relationship? Or how do I open myself to soul purpose or direction? What's my direction? And to me, it is all the same. How can you embody your divinity? Because embodying divinity answers your prayers. There's something I wanted to share here about, I was looking in my book, Soul Essence, and what I was drawn to is sharing about soul purpose. And as a part of my book here, that's soul purpose is divine order. And purpose is the intention behind the materialization of all living organism. Purpose, essence, intention it's the energy behind the materialization of all living organisms. Imagine the life vibration of a seed in the dark, surrounded of its surroundings of rich soil breaking free from its encasements as it seeks the light. Purpose seeks to fulfill itself. Essence seeks to fulfill itself. Divinity seeks to fulfill itself. Your life force seeks to fulfill itself. It is divine order following a natural cycle of nature. It's nature. Connecting with our purpose then is seeing the blessing of earth that generously supports all integration and partnership with life. Together, our soul purpose, our soul essence, and earth reality form an alliance that serves a larger system. Everything is in divine order, giving rich meaning to the interconnection between spirit and matter. Everything is in divine order. I say this with humility. Because when things don't go my way, I don't particularly think it's in divine order, you know? And when I'm, visited by my shadow side, my conditioning, fear, depression, when it just starts to follow me around and the shadow gets longer and longer and I'm trying to get the hell away from it, at some point I do turn around, face my shadow and say, oh, you're in divine order. My friend reminded me that of earlier, Sheila. She steps back and looks at everything. It's like, you're here. My spirit has aligned all this, you're here to serve whatever is my unfolding. And I like to say that I'm constantly in that level of trust. I'd like to say that I'm constantly curious. And I'm constantly embodying divinity, and that would be an utter lie, so I'm not going to say that. But I live and breathe what I've written about in this book, and it's that I'm constantly observing myself where I'm at. I'm observing that I don't like where I'm at sometimes. And when I don't like where I'm at, sometimes I'm an evaluator, like we all are, judging where I'm at, judging me in it, or judging others in it. I do that. But then I observe that. It's like, oh, look, I'm doing that. And it's in that observing, that witnessing, that we start to remember we are more than this experience. And when we start to remember that we are more than this experience, whatever it is this experience, we're starting to open ourselves to join in empathic resonance with what is. We start to accept it, to welcome it, to breathe it, to exhale it, and it flows through us with greater ease. It certainly does for me. I've seen that with other people. And so I'm going to read something around flow. When I wrote this, let's just say I was flowing. My love for you. My love for you. My love for you has eyes of fire that pierce through the dark, reaching from the heavens to illuminate the way. My love is inexhaustible. A blessing from the night to appease the storm and shelter you from the wind and the cold. My love, you are beautiful to me. You are beautiful, even as you pull away from me. Even as you pull away from me, afraid of the light, afraid of me seeing through you. My love, my love, my love, my love. There is no armor that can hold me afar. I come to you bearing gifts. I come to you bearing gifts and the certainty that you are my joy, no matter how ashamed you feel. Oh, my sweet darling. There is no darkness in you. There is no darkness in you that I cannot imagine whole. This is the best way that I can speak on behalf of Soul Essence. It's to speak of love. It's the best way that I can speak of embodying divinity. It's to speak of love. And speaking of love, entices Master India. I can feel them here. I was wondering when you're going to come in, and I can feel them choosing their entry, so I'm just going to tune in and share their presence, which is sharing love with you. Who do you think wrote that poem? It is pure essence. How did pure essence find its way to one's need for love? How did it know to say to shame, I love you? How did it know, no matter how much you pull away from me, I see you. Love seeks to fulfill itself. Therefore, love will seek where love is needed. Your essence is love. Your essence is purpose. Your essence is so huge. And it encompasses its own completion. It can't help but grow like a seed. But it doesn't grow specifically towards the light, towards divinity, as though it is not divinity and it seeks divinity. It already is divinity. It grows towards where it is needed. A seed grows towards the light to complete itself. If it's a fruit, its completion is in your belly. When you savor it, digest it, take in its nutrients, it has fulfilled its purpose. Life force, essence, purpose, divinity seeks to complete itself through you. And it can't help but flow towards need. What is needed. So, people come to you, you come to yourself in need. Need of your own divinity, need of love. And think of all the ways that you reject that need. Think of all the ways that you deny it, or you're uncomfortable with it. Maybe you've been taught to be uncomfortable with it. How about the needs of others? How about those that differ from you? It's so easy to separate yourself. But you are not here to separate yourselves. You have not come here this evening to separate yourself. If that was fulfilling, you wouldn't be here. You want unity. You want connection. You want ascended love. You want a peaceful world. That will bring you to people and situations outside of you and inside of you that aren't at peace, so that you can pour out all of your divinity, which is limitless, onto that which needs love, your essence, your wholeness. You've heard the expression that moths are drawn to flame. The brighter you are, the more connected you are, you blossom. That flame attracts the darker energies, attracts the pain in the world. And if it's not somebody else's, it's your own. And your own is not singular. Your pain is the collective pain. Anything you struggle, please, 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 please don't think that you are alone in it. That struggle is in this world. It's part of the collective humanity, and it's within the earth. It's in the grid patterns of the earth. The grid patterns are, it's very hard to describe that, but it's an energy system that interconnects everything. And a lot of those energy systems are damaged. And what's damaged it is war, abuse, fear. The grid patterns are riddled with fear. Which means that you have all come here to assist in the repair of those grid patterns. We're not going to say that all of humanity has come here for that. No. But those in this room certainly have. You wouldn't be drawn here to our message if you weren't. You're not all specifically here with the purpose of being the healer, but you all play a very important role in healing the grid patterns of the earth. By embarking on something that you've all begun, which is a process of self-inquiry, it's a process of growing your ability to observe, growing your ability to open, growing your ability to ultimately love. Love. Not just what you're comfortable with. And you don't have to be great at this. You don't even have to be good at it. You can struggle. And in fact, you can fall in love with your struggle. Because what do you think your struggle needs from you? So let us take a moment to guide you in. Dofila has promised. She didn't know we were going to do this. She thought she would do this, but we're going to do this for her. She promised to help you connect in with your soul essence, and we know exactly how. And it's by helping you connect in with your most intimate need. Think of your need for love, need for affection, need for success, need for sustenance, need for food, need for rest, need. There's a lot of need in this world. But think of your need as being a beckoning that says, over here, God, over here, God. Over here, Spirit. Think of it as being the door, the entrance point for your Spirit to join you. We're here to embrace your need, to say your need is sacred and beautiful. So just take a moment, your eyes open or your eyes closed, to drop in. Notice the quality of settling into the body that your exhalation produces. Notice how heavy you become when you breathe out. And let need, you don't even need to know what the need is. Just let need come to you, or awareness cognitively or sensorily or intuitively. It may be just a knowing feeling that comes to you. There may be no words at all. You may find yourself just a sense of spaciousness, and you can just be here, be here, be here. What else is there to do? Receiving is the most magnificent human expression there is. Receiving. You can let your need, whatever it is, be a magnet that sips in your spirit. That drinks in the vibration of your essence. And your essence may come to you as a felt sense of knowing. It may come to you as a color, a symbol, a power animal. It may come to you as a spirit guide. It may come to you as an insight. It may come to you as a still quiet of your breath. If you're experiencing energy, vibration in through your body, breathe into it. If you're wondering, what am I sensing? What am I sensing? Breathe. If you're thinking the thought, I'm not sensing anything, breathe. And you can let your essence take up so much space here. Let it fill the parts of your body that need healing. Let it fill persons in this room other than you. Maybe the person sitting beside you that needs healing. cascade into the ground, down through the building, into the earth, rooting, rooting, into the grid patterns of this planet, to join all together as a whole, to give, to give, to give. Your spirit can do the giving for you. You, the human, can receive. Your essence can do the giving through you, through you, through you, can emit a high vibration through you, through you, through you, and you receive, receive. Like a dried earth, soaking in the rain. Like a new green shoot breaking out of the soil, taking in the sun. There, 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 there. It's good. It's good to be whole. And to be whole means that you're many facets. Not one personality, not one thought, not one feeling. But many woven together in deep, deep peace.